America is spying on the world, and we will cover all of this in today's video with undeniable conclusive evidence. In early 2013, journalist and director Laura Betteris received an encrypted email. The sender was anonymous and signed the email as Citizen 4. Hello, Laura. I am an important government employee at the American National Security Agency, NSA. I hope you understand that contacting you directly is extremely dangerous at this moment. You must know that every phone call you make, every network you log into, every website you visit, every email you send, and every purchase you make is being relayed to another person within a specific system. For the first time in NSA history, an enormous amount of data is being collected. The largest telecommunications companies in the United States are misusing customer data and betraying their trust, and I can prove all of this to you. This was the message that the anonymous person sent to Laura. Is the American government really spying on its citizens? Are the major American telecommunications companies providing data to the NSA? Who is the anonymous person who revealed the truth? And what is his fate? That is exactly what we will find out in today's video. Mark Klein, a technical employee at IT&T Communications, an internet company, had been working there for more than 20 years, and his situation was stable. Until one day in 2002, while he was sitting at his desk, he was immediately summoned to the manager's office. Mark, this person, is not just an ordinary client or individual. He is an employee affiliated with the National Security Agency. Nothing changed after that visit, and Mark continued his work as usual. However, as days and weeks passed, Mark began to feel that something was very strange and he couldn't get it out of his mind. Then, one day in 2003, he went up to the 6th floor of the company and noticed a strange door without a key, with room 641 written on it. Curious about what was inside, Mark started looking for any wires or cables in that room. He indeed found a set of connections emerging from the room and leading to the floor above. Eventually, he discovered that these external connections were directly linked to the company's internet servers. Driven by curiosity, Mark began investigating the matter to uncover the secret behind that room. He obtained the building's internal architectural plans and discovered that the connections converged at the backup device used to duplicate any data passing through the lines. This meant that every message on the internet, every email, and every online search conducted by the company's customers was being copied and rerouted to room 641. And from here we start to ask ourselves, why is the company copying its customers' internet traffic data? Mark knew the answer, and he was convinced that it was all connected to the visit of that strange person, since room 641 is actually a special surveillance room operated by the NSA. When IT&T officials were questioned, they insisted that they protect their customers' information and comply with the law. However, they did not deny the allegations of their involvement with the NSA, and they stood by their word. In 2013, after Laura Betteris received the message from the anonymous person, she was initially skeptical about its accuracy, but she gradually began to believe it after reading the message and investigating the subject. The era of surveillance in America began in 2001, specifically after the September 11th attacks and the destruction of the World Trade Center, an event that shook the world. The Director of National Security was deemed a failure by U.S. President George Bush, claiming he could not have foreseen the attack. Consequently, the American government decided to forget the incident and begin planning to prevent similar events in the future. In October 2001, the U.S. Congress began approving the implementation of the Patriot Act, a law that grants intelligence agencies extensive surveillance powers as long as it is to combat terrorism. Alongside this law, another measure was secretly taken: the creation of an extremely classified program for the NSA called PRISM, designed to intercept terrorist communications that threatened American national security regardless of the outcome. The result was that every phone call in America was monitored, and it was discovered that the George Bush administration was intercepting the calls of hundreds of American citizens without a judicial warrant, a program revealed in 2005 through an exclusive article in The Times. However, the American government dismissed these reports, claiming that the program did exist, but was only for terrorists outside the United States, specifically targeting Al-Qaeda. But the message that reached Laura in 2013 once again shed light on the subject, stating that the truth was not limited to just American citizens being monitored. Rather, the NSA was monitoring all phone data, internet activity, and email messages of hundreds of millions of American citizens. That is why Laura decided to travel to Hong Kong to meet the anonymous person and learn the information he possessed. A meeting was arranged in a Hong Kong hotel, and it was supposed that Laura and her team would identify this person because he would be holding the row cube in his hand. Indeed, after arriving at the location, she met the person who sent her the message, Edward Snowden. Edward, a 29-year-old former employee of the NSA at its headquarters in Hawaii, where he had worked for the past 9 years, worked at the NSA in the hope that he was serving his country and providing help. This was in contrast to his superiors at the agency, who continually deceived the public, both Americans and citizens around the world. The claims made by President George Bush and the head of the NSA that they were not spying on us, but merely monitoring terrorists, were all lies. Even when President Barack Obama in 2008 announced an end to warrantless surveillance, that too was a lie, because surveillance increased even further during the Obama era. All of this came to light because of Snowden, who decided to reveal the truth to the entire world. Edward Snowden managed to download a huge amount of internal documents from the NSA's servers during his years of work. And these documents were enough to expose all the lies and allegations made by the American government. Knowing that his life would be in danger once the information was published, Snowden decided to flee, first to Hong Kong, and then to release his information to the world. On June 6, 2013, the British Guardian published the first secret documents, which included a covert court order compelling Verizon to provide daily information on all telephone calls on its network to the NSA. Snowden's revelations sent shockwaves around the world, highlighting the extensive reach of government surveillance and sparking a global debate on privacy and security. The news created a worldwide sensation, and the American government came out to deny these accusations. But the documents did not stop there. Even the government's secret program was exposed to the world. The NSA was found to be accessing the servers of the largest American technology companies. From 2007 until now, 9 American companies have had their servers spied on by the NSA. YouTube, Facebook, Google, Apple, Microsoft, Yahoo, Skype, and others. All emails, direct messages, video calls, and photos. Although all the companies initially denied their participation in the program, the NSA later stated that the companies were aware of it. And as if that wasn't enough, even bigger news spread. A report about a secret British program that spies on internet networks and phones on a much broader scale, encompassing the entire world. All of the data collected was gathered in a secret program called XKeyscore, a program that records conversations, calls, and search queries of every internet user on the planet. After Snowden leaked all of these documents, he became a national hero to many people around the world. However, from the perspective of the American government, he was merely a traitor to the nation, and they charged him with espionage. Snowden knew that his time in Hong Kong was over, and that he was no longer safe from the American government, which had requested that Chinese authorities arrest and extradite him. An arrest warrant was indeed issued for Edward Snowden, but he had reached Hong Kong airport in order to travel to Russia, and from Russia to Ecuador, to seek political asylum. Snowden's plan was successful in that he managed to travel to Russia. However, he remained stuck at the airport and was unable to depart for Ecuador because his passport had been confiscated by the American government. Snowden spent 5 days at Moscow airport, and during that time, his documents continued to spread further around the world, with a new truth emerging every day about the NSA's surveillance of people, not only within America but also abroad, targeting both citizens and even leaders and politicians. Russia refused to extradite Snowden to America, and President Putin even granted him political asylum in his country. Snowden's stance was a great humanitarian stand against a superpower, against his own country, the United States, because he concluded that they were acting improperly toward their citizens. His position even led him to be nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 2013, and he received the Sam Adams Award from a group of retired CIA officers for his integrity and ethical conduct. And here we have reached the end of our story. If you liked today's video and are looking forward to even more exciting parts, don't forget to support us by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and activating the notification bell so that our videos reach you as soon as they are released. Peace.